Paul. I'm gonna have to sit. Probably? Yeah. Good evening. Please be seated. Good evening, graduates, families, faculty, board members, Mayor Sullivan, to the 61st commencement exercises of Cardinal Spellman High School. 61 years of young men and women standing on this stage, moving their tassels from one side of their cap to the other. 61 years of ending, 61 years of new beginnings. The month of May often brings with it a kind of prelude to the end. We begin the school year as the leaves begin to fall, and nature is signaling its own prelude to the end of the year. And then we move from holiday to holiday through the cold dead of winter. Finally emerge in the warmth of spring. And just as nature is reborn and beginning its own cycle, we, as students and teachers within the school calendar, are keenly aware that these signs of rebirth are in fact ushering in the end of another school year. It is an odd cycle, the school year, given that it begins as nature ends and ends as nature begins and is absent as nature celebrates and thrives through the summer. As valedictory addresses across the country are being written, and many young men and women take stock of where they have been and where they are going, we too, their mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, and friends take stock as well. We consider that perhaps our child's childhood is ending, our brother or sister is moving out of the bunk bed and into a college dorm, or that our grandchild has received the first high school diploma in the family's history. We are struck by the contrast of the juxtaposition of so much hope and promise echoed in nature itself as the flowers bloom, the sun shines, and the air smells of sunscreen, alongside the sadness we feel, bearing witness to the end of something so wonderful. However, this juxtaposition of perceived opposites is not as strange as it first might seem. For as the great theologian and doctor of the church, Thomas Aquinas, so eloquently put to his readers in his magnum opus, the Summa Theologica, all things are beginning and returning to their beginning through an ending. Theologians refer to this theme in his work as the exitus reditus, but it is not something reserved only for the study of theology. As the cycle we see played out every year in nature and in the very life of the school calendar draws us in to experience the exitus reditus, etching high watermarks along the journey of life and reminding us, perhaps most importantly, that as Christians, we know that even in death, life is just beginning again. So it is with some sadness, graduates, that I address you this morning as your high school life draws to a close. But it is with great joy that I direct your attention to the piercing rays of sunlight we see here tonight, as the dawn breaks just ahead of us, even while it is setting behind us. So congratulations, graduates, and congratulations, families. You have indeed reached the end, but look ahead a little further, as your futures are just beginning. And so, too, are these commencement exercises. And to do so, I welcome Deacon Joe Nickley, class of 1975, and our school chaplain to begin this 61st commencement exercises.
Please join me in praying for the class of 2022. Let us bow our heads and pray for God's blessing. My brothers and sisters, we gather here today to acknowledge and honor the Cardinal Spellman High School class of 2022. Loving God, we thank you for the gift of their many accomplishments, the gifts of these class that they've offered over the past 4 years. Inspire these young men and women to dedicate themselves to be even more successful in their future academic endeavors. Help them, dear Lord, to enjoy this present moment while maintaining a healthy perspective on the future. Give them the spirit of humility and joy with a generous amount of courage and patience to persevere when confronted with difficult obstacles. Lord, it is so difficult for us to say goodbye to these talented and gifted young people. It is hard to let this class go. They have been very special to us and have added so much to our lives. However, new adventures await them, and we must let them go. With great joy and some sadness, we begin our commencement exercises. May God bless the class of 2022. Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And now I'd like to welcome to the stage our valedictorian and Harvard-bound scholar, Saran Moresi. Saran, welcome.
Thank you, everyone, and good evening, family, friends, faculty, and the graduating class of 2022. Before I begin my speech, I'd like to give a quick shout out to one of my fellow classmates. She not only believed in my success wholeheartedly, but predicted this moment during our freshman year. So much so that she turned to me one day while we were practicing Spanish conjugations and said, "Promise me you'll mention me in your speech when you're valedictorian." Kathleen Kerr, I've kept my promise. Thank you for always believing in me. Now to begin the long-awaited speech. I say long-awaited in regards to my anticipation for the speech, not yours. I know you're all buzzing to throw those caps into the air and finally begin the summer that will enter you into a world of independence. No, I do not fear public speaking, nor do I have a problem with my diction and syntax. My uneasiness surrounding my remarks today is part of the reason why I received the title of valedictorian in the first place. Why I tried so hard on tests and assignments. Why I felt a punch to my stomach every time my grades were subpar. You see, I admit I'm a recovering perfectionist. I hate the connotation that comes with the word perfectionist. By no means do I find myself perfect. My perfectionism has long been in conflict with my self-doubt in almost everything that I do. Everything must be perfect, yet I can never seem to actually achieve this elusive standard that I had created for myself. If I didn't have an emotional and intellectual attachment to whatever I passed in, I simply would not pass it in. Even the beginning ideas and words that this speech had once been lacked the passion and significance that I so crave to share with all of you today. This speech, I'll reluctantly admit, was submitted days later than it should have been because I kept trying to chase this level of perfection that was impossible to achieve. So thank you, Mr. Kelly, for bearing with my poor time management skills, another trait of mine that has always clashed with my type A personality. This speech, like everything I've ever produced in my 4 years here at Spellman, needed to be perfect. I say recovering perfectionist because I truly wish to leave behind this unbearable belief that everything I must do has to be perfect. My senior year proved this to me after a terrible outbreak had ravaged our class. And no, I'm not talking about COVID. I'm talking about when our grades and efforts slipped considerably after we all became afflicted with senioritis. Every teacher of at least one senior class bore witness to the damaging effects as students became more and more aware of their approaching finish line. Our grades were certainly not perfect during these past few months. What I'm about to say definitely goes against everything I had stood for my 3.5 years here at Spellman. My grades slipped, senioritis hit me, and I'm okay with that. I'm perfectly content with being content with my less than perfect grades. For the first time in 3.5 years, I'm in favor of making lasting memories with my friends and classmates and soaking in these last few weeks of carefree bliss, rather than staying in to memorize textbooks from front to back. I can finally see my classmates as the captains, performers, choir members, leaders, and loving people that they are. These last couple of months together have allowed us to embrace the love and compassion of our fellow classmates. Your crimson-colored robes are not the only thing draped over your shoulders today. You have all embraced the loving and united spirit of the class of 2022. If I have learned anything in my 4 years here at Spellman, it is this. Perfectionism is overrated. It's a myth. I'm not perfect, this speech isn't perfect, and class of 2022, we are not perfect. If we had achieved that unreachable status of perfectionism, we wouldn't have amassed the sheer number of detentions by Miss Generaux for wearing sweatshirts instead of polos and sneakers instead of Sperry's. If I was perfect, I would have submitted this speech when it was actually due. If we were perfect, we wouldn't be our authentic selves. Class of 2022, we are not perfect. We are golden. So golden that even Mr. Kelly has waited until we graduated to leave Spellman with us. Mr. Kelly, you don't have to say it. We already know that we have been your favorite class here at Spellman. And I can confidently speak for my class when I say that we have been blessed to have you as our principal, and we wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors. I'll say it again, we are a golden class. If our red robes are the love we have embraced from each other, especially during our last year here at Spellman, the golds of our tassels represent the legacy we leave behind. Despite our paths diverging after this momentous day once we move those gold tassels from right to left, the marks of our respected athletes, outstanding choir members, show-stopping performers, talented artists, and leaders of the school stay behind. I encourage you all to embrace your passions and those around you instead of wasting your time living for perfectionism. As our beloved principal of Spellman for 10 years and classmates depart to begin the new chapters of their lives, I cannot leave without saying that our class has truly left our mark on this school. No one will lead the school quite like the class of 2022. Golden Class, we didn't just do it. We set the standard. Class of 2022, we made it. Thank you and good luck.
Sharon, I don't know about the rest of you here gathered, but I would say that was pretty perfect. So you achieved more than you set out to do. For many years, Spellman welcomed guest speakers to address the graduates and their families gathered here. However, over the last decade, we moved away from that tradition in favor of welcoming our own school leaders to address those gathered here. Today, I am pleased to say we're bringing back that tradition, while at the same time remaining true to our new ones. We are welcoming a keynote speaker who also happens to be our principal. Paul Kelly has served the community of Cardinal Spellman as its principal faithfully for 10 fruitful years. I have had the privilege of working with him for 6 of those years, and it has been an adventure and an honor. Now this evening, I am blessed as president of Cardinal Spellman to usher in a new, old tradition and welcome to the podium a man who needs no introduction to address you one last time, graduates, as your principal. Please give a warm welcome to Paul Kelly.
Good evening, everyone. Mr. Kelly, the other Mr. Kelly behind me, Mr. Hodes, Mrs. Evans, beloved faculty and staff, parents, friends, and the class of 2022. It is so good to be here with you tonight. I am very sensitive to the fact that this is your day. In no way do I want to steal the spotlight, although I am a theater guy, so I do relish the moment. But I know my place, and I know that this night is rightly all about you. However, I am honored to share the stage with you and proud to be graduating with you. You are a fantastic class. So if you don't mind, we'll just change the number from 137 graduates to 138. I am thrilled that we're doing this together. 10 years. In some ways, it feels like the blink of an eye. In other ways, it feels like a lifetime. They say that the high school principal, as a profession, claims the statistic for the most likely to go gray early. I'm hanging on for dear life. But I must admit, I have such mixed emotions about moving on. Spellman is in my blood. Spellman is in my heart. Spellman is at the core of who I am. Our family was first drawn to Spellman way back in 2010. When we were looking for the right school for my daughter Sarah, people kept saying, you should check out Cardinal Spellman. And then, like so many others who encountered the unique spirit of Spellman for the first time, I was blown away. I was drawn in. I was hooked. And I wanted to be part of it. And so Sarah came and she thrived, and we grew more impressed as the years went on. So much so that when Spellman announced that they were looking for a new principal back in 2012, I thought, what the heck? Why not give it a shot? Of course, Sarah, who was a junior at the time, said, over my dead body, Daddy. But all the pieces of the puzzle came together. God had a plan. And the next thing I knew, I was moving into that grand office overlooking the beautiful Garden of Reflection. Now, after 15 years as an elementary school principal, I thought that transitioning from little kids to high school kids would be scary and daunting, until I arrived, and I soon realized that high schoolers were actually a little less mature than some of the fifth graders who I had been with. And I quickly realized, you know, kids are kids. You just happen to come in bigger bodies. In short order, I found out that I loved being a high school principal. I discovered that I was in the privileged front seat to watch that fascinating growth from childhood to adulthood. I was here to learn from you. I was here to begin to try to understand you. And on a good day, I was here to guide you. People would say, oh my God, high school kids, bigger problems. In a way, that's kind of true. You do have a way of getting into mischief. God help me, the stories I could tell. But I won't, I promise. I'll keep them to myself. But then there's the flip side of that. Bigger kids mean bigger accomplishments, bigger lessons to learn, bigger opportunities to share, bigger chance to show your talents, bigger aha moments, and bigger chances to create magical moments. I would not trade those big things for anything in the world. And we sure have made some very magical moments together here at Spellman. I have not been a perfect principal, Saran. I'm sure, but I've always tried to live my role by one rule. Drum roll, please. Here's the rule. Put the kids first. Always ask the question, what is in the best interest of the student? And most often, almost always, therein lies the answer. And I hope that I've been faithful to that promise to the best of my ability. Okay, I'm officially the keynote speaker, as Mr. Hodes said. So I suppose I am charged with leaving you some words of wisdom as you move on to your next adventure in life. Back in the day, I actually wrote a little book. And the book was called The Principal's Principles. On sale after the graduation for $10 a piece, if you'd like. In that little book, I highlighted a few insights that I picked up in my role as an elementary school principal. Now, in light of my next adventure, going back there, I dusted it off recently, and it prompted me to reflect on what I've learned as a high school principal, and perhaps what I can then pass along to you guys tonight. Number one, in high school, as in life, there will be defining moments. However, we all make mistakes. And in those moments, when you own them and when you're remorseful, those mistakes never have to ultimately define who you are. Number two, think before you act. But if you mess up, take responsibility and accept accountability. I hope you are many great things in your life, but I hope you grow up to be terrible liars. Just tell the truth. Number three. Okay. Never, that's why I'm going back to elementary school. I got to learn. Never underestimate the power of music. I've loved my role in the music program here at Spellman. It's been a highlight and a huge source of joy for me personally and professionally. I would love to be remembered, however, not necessarily as the musical principal, but rather as the principal who understood the power of music and was willing to share some of the gifts I've been given. Music is a universal language. It speaks to our souls. Music can be the very voice of God if we listen close enough. So make it part of your life and think of me. I shared this last point at last year's graduation, but I think it bears repeating for your ears, graduates. So listen up. Get off the phone from time to time. It's addictive, and it often robs you of something much more valuable at that moment. Real relationships require in-person connections. Social media can be so dangerous when it's misused. So think before you hit the send button. Ask yourself, is this helpful or hurtful? And then send. Ask yourself, will this post build someone up or put them down? And then choose to hit send. Ask yourself, will this post come back to bite me? And then maybe don't send it. And then ask yourself, would I want Mr. Kelly to read this post? Or even worse, to see this picture? Definitely don't hit send. In all seriousness, regarding technology, in spite of all its extraordinary capabilities, the world is meant to be seen through these and through this, not through a 5-inch screen. You will never capture the wonder of the Grand Canyon or the brilliance of a sunset through your phone. If you're looking for the important answers, don't always look them up. Look out, look in, and look up. Okay, over the years, I found myself using a certain phrase all the time. The phrase is this: only at Spellman. This place is special and unique. It really, really is a one-of-a-kind high school. I know of no other school where seniors courageously share their personal stories and struggles and their redemption stories and the power of God in their lives for the benefit of their younger classmates or their younger underclassmen. Only at Spellman. I know of no other school where football players are willing to dress up like toys and do a kick line at a Christmas show. Only at Spellman. I know of no other Catholic school where students and teachers participate so enthusiastically and prayerfully in the liturgies. Really, what is this? Only at Spellman. I know of no other school that forged through COVID with such conviction and determination to provide a meaningful experience for you students during the most challenging of times. Only at Spellman. It's time for me to wrap this up. But before I get down to the business of graduating you guys, before stepping away from the podium, I would be remiss if I did not thank a few people who have journeyed with me over these past 10 years. To my partners in crime, particularly the ones in the main office, through thick and thin, in season and out of season, you've been amazing cheerleaders and friends. Chris Evans, Tammy Genero, Rosemary Rappold, Bill and Pete, and of course, Julie Cooney. To the teachers, my friends, the heart and soul of Spellman, never underestimate the power of your vocation. You changed lives. Never forget that we're all in this together. And thank you for being part of the joy. And I need to acknowledge one particular teacher at this time who has dedicated her whole professional life to Cardinal Spellman. As a student, as a classroom teacher, as a department chair, as an assistant principal, as a true Spellman legend, after 43 years. Please join me in thanking the incomparable Mrs. Susan Davis. And of course, to you, my students, all through the years, you are the reason we do what we do. You motivate us to push ourselves, you inspire us to give more, and you teach us every day. You are Spellman. We often say God has a plan, and I hope you really believe that. It's often very unclear just what that plan is, and often the path is very zigzaggy. But things do have a way of working out according to his divine design. Trust in that. If you do, it will bring you the greatest gift in your life, the gift of hope and peace. So cling to that. God had a plan to bring me to Spellman 10 years ago. I will always be grateful for that. God's plan brought us together, most of us for the past 4 years. What a blessing that has been. God's plan brought us to this moment today, your graduation from Cardinal Spellman High School. And my prayer for you is that God's plan will unfold in all of your lives in beautiful ways to bring you true fulfillment, success, adventure, joy, many laughs along the way, and above all, lots and lots of love. I love you guys. Congratulations. Let's graduate. Thank you.
That's a tough act to follow. Class of 2022, it is a special honor to present you to the community as the graduating class of Cardinal Spellman High School. I wish you all the best of God's blessings as we send you out into the world. I pray that as you go forth on your journey, something you say, or something you do, or some way that you have of being will witness the love of God that you have experienced. Wherever you go, whatever you do, continue to nourish your faith in God and remember that you will never walk alone. President Hodes, Principal Kelly, Chair of the Board of Trustees, Mr. Kelly, as Vice Principal, it's my duty and privilege to present the members of the class of 2022. These young men and women have completed the course of study required for high school students by the Department of Education of the Archdiocese of Boston. They have been approved and recommended by the faculty, and they await their diplomas. The following students are awarded diplomas. Class President, Grace T. Elliott. Vice President, Ryan A. Hemmings. Treasurer, Madison C. Feetham. Secretary, Catherine E. Lisco. Student Government President, Blake S. McSweeney. Vice President, Lacey M. Deftos. Valedictorian, Saran T. Moresi. Salutatorian, Allison J. Crowley. Zachary S. Achenbach. Talia M. Albanese. Gerard Alexis Jr. Melvin A. Alves. Anthony J. Andrade. Megan C. Aruda. Ethan K. Atrabuana. Marie Andre L. Audrey. Yanni Babu Avasiloya. Hannah M. Baptiste. Emma R. Barnes. David H. Barnica. Alyssa J. Belmont. Heidi S. Lumbus. Emily R. Booker. Melanie C. Brady. Maya M. Brady. Ryan M. Bryce. Greg K. Bucha. Luke P. Buckley. Michelle Cange. Emily C. Capicelli. Cameron D. Coburn. Abigail K. Cole. Suzanne M. Collins. Michael J. Creed. Nicholas J. Crociati. Howard A. Cushman, Jr. Thomas J. Sarniak. Brennan B. DeCourcy. Madison L. DiLorenzo. Casely H. Domestico. Elijah L. Donahue. John E. Dorsey. Nathaniel W. Dunham. Eva X. Zeus. Kaylee C. Egan. Sophia Emil. Alden Fernandez. Christian Fernandez. Jamali A. Fernandez. Mark A. Fontaine. Emma A. Ponce. Stephen J. Frechette. Mairead E. Gallagher. Laura A. Gill. Matthew J. Grafton. Aiden M. Horgan. Tyler J. Renko. Elizabeth C. Herm. J. Ryan Jean Baptiste. Emerliana G. Joseph. Melina M. Carolamaeus. Nora M. Keeley. Charles F. Carney. Kathleen E. Kerr. Caitlin A. Kroll. Daniel E. Kistiniak. Alexander E. Kuzmich. Tracy I. Lacara.
What a moment. Wow.
Kyle H. Laguerre. Joseph P. LaRocca. Jason K. Lewis. Ryan J. Lewis. Brooke E. Lucier. Alexandra M. Madeira. Emily M. Maiden. Grace A. Malik. Ryan E. Malone. James J. Marino. Sarah A. Marsden. Adam C. Martin. James M. Mastriani. Bianca M. Matus. Michael A. Mayo. Zachary R. McBride. Ryan P. McDonough. Riley E. McDonough. Tristan P. McDonough. Edward R. Mekchin. Ella C. Michaud. Lori Ann Metellus. Olivia M. Molina. Nathaniel B. Montero. Dylan R. Moore. Chatham C. Morton. Cecilia R. Mayette. Brendan R. Needle. Cormac C. O'Brien. Edward J. O'Hearn IV. Joseph M. O'Reilly. Maxwell Owusu Mensah. Mario A. Pangioni. William D. Pantazelos. Brittany A. Pascarelli. Kenton R. Port. Kayla M. Pateau. Jessica E. Pulsifer. Molly S. Quinn. Dylan S. Reedy. Matthew P. Reedy. Francis R. Rodney. Jovinson A. Romulus. Jason M. Salamone, Jr. Angelina J. Saya. Joy J. Saya. Samyak Shrestha. Joseph W. Small III. Jonna M. Smith. Mia F. Smith. Isabella L. Spacek. Ryan C. Stakowitz. Taya L. Sukar. Daniel C. Sweeney. Cameron C. Sweeney. Aiden A. Tate. Casey A. Tan. Anissa M. Tibbetts. Victor I. Usinoff. Taylor E. Veloso. Nicholas J. Walsh. Abigail S. Walton. Raven J. Wellington. Michael J. Wenzel. Denise N. Wesson. Christian M. Wetzel. Emma E. Williams. Zichao Nancy Yu. It is my distinct pleasure to present the graduating class of 2022.
Oh, Mrs. Evans, Mrs. Evans. Mrs. Evans. Mrs. Evans, Mrs. Evans, it's me. Graduates, turn around for a second. Graduates, graduates. What are you doing? There are 137 of you out here, but there is one of you who has yet to receive his diploma. 138 graduates, I believe, are part of the class of 2022, are they not, Mrs. Evans? Perhaps we have a couple students who want to present something. Mr. Kelly.
Yes.
know. And now I present to you in full the class of 2022.
All right, we're almost done, folks. But we got one more song to do. My job is never done. The piano's over there. Cece is going to come on up and help us out. But this is the alma mater. The words are in your program. We practiced it a few times. So we want everyone to sing. As soon as it's over, you can throw your caps. And then graduates wait. Teachers will go out first, and you'll follow the teachers. Are you ready to sing? Cece, come on up.
Thank you.
We're good?
We walk out.
Class of 2022, congratulations. Faculty, board members. We're headed out first, and all graduates will follow behind.